Hello again everybody and welcome back to Boozetooz. Today we're going to be unboxing the rarest H2O Delirious figure that he has ever made, and that's going to be the Crowlirious Youtooz figure. So without further ado, let's open this thing up. Alrighty, I am so pumped to check this figure out. This is the only H2O Delirious figure that I've been missing from my collection. So this figure released on the Youtooz website about a year and a half ago. It dropped with the Teddylirious figure, the Gorillafant, the Dead Scroll figure, and I think the Cartoons V2, the King Toons. They also offered an exclusive poster if you bought all 5 figures, which I am still trying to track down to get one for myself. I'll put that on the screen right now so you guys can see what that looks like. It looks pretty cool. But without further ado, let's take this thing out of the protective sleeve here and let's check out the design on the actual sleeve. Also, while I'm taking this thing out, peep the new cardboard cutout. Boozetooz Youtooz 2023. Come on, Youtooz, let's make this happen. Getting my own Youtooz is the last achievement that I need for this channel. Let's make it happen. But here we have it. I'm already loving the design on the front of the sleeve here. Let's raise my desk up a little bit. And here we go. So on the front of the sleeve here, we have Crowlirious on the top. We have the concept right there, and it looks like we have a black background with some circles in it. On the side of the sleeve here, it looks like we do have a continuous sleeve, or kind of continuous sleeve. Looks like these two sides are continuous, but this one doesn't match up exactly. But on the first side here, it looks like we have a city skyline on the back there. We have multiple colors of blue in the sky, which definitely makes sense because blue is H2O Delirious's color. Looks like we got some grass. We got a big helicopter right there. We got a little bit of a fence right there. And it looks like you can see the dirt underneath the grass. We got a little worm there as well, which makes sense because I think there's actually a worm on the stand. I think you can see a little bit of it right there. There is a worm on the figure. I do know that, so that probably makes sense why there's worms all over the box here. On the back of the sleeve here, it looks like we have 4 crows circling this terrified looking worm. We got some shrubs in the back. We got the same city skyline on the back there as well. We have the Youtooz eyes on the bottom, and on the final side here, it looks like we have a very happy worm. Look at that. This one's super happy and this one is terrified. I mean, rightfully so. So let me give you guys a little 360 of the sleeve so you guys can see all the awesome detail on it. But now let's take the sleeve off and let's check out the box. It looks like Crowlirious is number 147 of the collection. We have the concept right there, and it looks like we have a blue background. Then on the side here, it looks like we have another picture of the concept right there. We have the city skyline in the back there. We have a little fence. We have some dirt on the bottom there. Oh, and you can actually see his little worm buddy on the statue right there, or on the figure, I guess. Then on the back of the box here, it looks like we have the same kind of background. Then it looks like we have a worm, happy as can be, sticking out of the ground, but it looks like he's about to get eaten by Crowlirious. So we have the crow feet on the top there. It looks like he's about to swoop down and grab the worm. But I also love how they put Youtooz eyes on the worm itself. That's awesome. Do worms even have eyes? I gotta look this up. And Google says no, they do not have eyes. They actually have receptors that can sense whether it's light or dark out. That's actually pretty cool. Wow. Look at that. We're learning about wildlife as well. Very cool. But on the final side of the box here, we have a little message and it says, "Would you like to shush up?" Also, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this figure is a reference to H2O Delirious when he like laughs / like screams, I guess. And he just sounds like a crow, and all of his friends have pointed it out in the past. So I'll just put up a little example on the screen so you guys can hear it for yourselves.
The laser's gone down! The laser's gone down! Oh my god!
So as you can see, he sounds like a crow, so that's what the figure is based off of. Also, I love when they make figures that are based off of like one specific joke, like this one, or the Terrorizer V2 figure, where the entire box and figure were based off of the press X for intensity joke. But now, let's get to actually opening this thing up and checking it out. So, we have the concept on the top of the box here, we have blue in the background, and let's open this thing up. Let's check out the message on the inside of the tab, and it says, and it looks like we have the same kind of background that we had on the front of the sleeve. Alrighty, let's open this thing up and let's check out the inside box design. It looks like we have the same kind of design that was on the front of the sleeve, but we have a bunch of crow heads on there. Very cool. Alrighty, let's throw the sleeve and the box in the back there, and let's check out the actual figure here. And ooh, it's in like one of those like one of the special sleeves, or not sleeves, but you know, the packaging, whatever. But here it is. This thing is pretty cool. And there we go. Look at this figure. This is so sick. It's definitely one of these smaller figures, but honestly, it's really not that small. I feel like this is about the size of a season 1 figure. Actually, let's test that theory. I have the Fitz figure right here. I'm taking it out of the box, and we're gonna see if it is actually the size of a season 1 figure. And here we go. Oh, okay. So it's a bit smaller. Definitely a bit smaller, but I mean, honestly, not that big of a difference in height. So one of the reasons why I spent almost a year tracking one of these figures down is because I love the design for it. Like my favorite part of it is how the crow has the H2O Delirious mask in its mouth. I think that's so cool. So it looks like we have a little poof of feathers on the top of the crow's head there. Then it looks like we have the Youtooz eyes on either side of the beak there. And of course we have the very long crow beak with the H2O Delirious mask in its mouth, and that looks so cool. Looks like the crow might be smiling as well. A little bit of a smile in there. I actually have the H2O Delirious figure, the original one right here, so we can actually bring this out. And as you can tell, it is the same exact mask, except this one actually has some eyebrows on it. It looks like this mask is actually a bit bigger than the one on the original figure as well. But now let's continue going over the detail here. So it looks like we have some pretty good detail on from the chest there. We got some feathers like sticking out. Then we got some pretty good detail on the wings there. It looks like we actually have more detail towards the end of the wing there. And on the back here for the feathered tail of the crow, it looks like you can actually see each individual feather on the back there, which is actually pretty cool. Then of course we have the crow feet, and those look pretty cool as well. I love how they have some fur coming down on the top of the leg there. Makes it look a little bit more realistic. But as you can tell, we have some engraved lines going down the leg there. We have some pretty good detail on each toe there, and of course the claws coming out on the bottom there. So it looks like we have dirt on the bottom of the base, then we have some grass on the top of the base, and it looks like we actually have some blades of grass sticking up throughout it as well. It looks like we also have some wormholes in the ground as well. We got one right there underneath the mask, we got one on the back there, and on the front here we have a wormhole with a little worm sticking out of it. And it looks like the worm actually has a mouth and some Youtooz eyes. Those might be the smallest Youtooz eyes I've ever seen. Overall, this figure is super cool, and I'm glad that I finally got it for a reasonable price. It was definitely more than I wanted to spend, but I would say it's pretty reasonable. Also, I'm planning on making an entire H2O Delirious collection video now that I have every figure and plushie that he's ever made. Just like I made the Jacksepticeye collection one. Except that one's a bit outdated now because they released a new Jacksepticeye figure like 3 days after I posted that video. So this time I'm hoping that they wait at least a week after I post the video to release another Delirious figure. But when I do post that video, I'll be able to compare all of the H2O Delirious plushies and figures together so you guys can see what they look like as a complete collection. So I'll give you guys another little 360 of this figure before I end the video here. I am honestly super happy with how this figure came out. It looks absolutely incredible, and it's one of my favorite figures of all time. I know I throw that out a lot, but I mean, a lot of figures are my favorite figures of all time. So thank you guys again so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Youtooz unboxings. Make sure to ask Youtooz to make a Boozetooz Youtooz, and I will see you guys in the next video.